This is the Pixel tablet, and it's the latest tablet device from Google. I've been using it for a bit now, and it's actually really cool. It's a really cool device, and it made me think, what's taking them so long to make something like this? We've seen the Nest Hub Max, we've seen that sort of feature already, which is just a dock that sits there, does nothing else besides being something that sits there and then you can't remove it. Flip that the other way around, we have a tablet device here that sits on the dock that's also a charging dock and speaker as well. But what's great about this is most people buy tablets and they might read a book on there, watch a movie, do some gaming, whatever, but once they finish using it, what do they do with it? They just shove it in the drawer somewhere or place it on the table. They might forget to use it again. They might even forget to charge the tablet itself. But now it serves an extra purpose by being a dock, which means you can just have it placed somewhere in the office, in the living room, in the kitchen, wherever you want to have it, and it can change into a docked mode, which means you can have wallpaper scrolling throughout the place. You can connect it to your smart system at home, so you can look at your CCTV, for example. You can answer doorbells and all that kind of stuff. You can do that on here. And when you need to do other things, you can take it off and read your emails. You can do chat to people via video call and all that kind of stuff. So that's basically that in a nutshell about what this is about in terms of how useful it actually is. So this is a porcelain color version, which is really nice. It's also available in hazel, I think, which is really nice here in the UK at least. And we have a couple of things around it to talk about. So we do have a volume rocker there, power button that also doubles up as a fingerprint sensor. And what's also good about this is you have multi-user mode, which means if you have people in the house that's going to be using it, have their settings, have their own login, like Netflix login and all that kind of stuff, you can have their fingerprint registered to their user account. So different people can actually use this when docked, which is pretty cool. One thing that's annoying about this though is once you start rotating it and using a different format, the volume and all that stuff is located in that same place. So you start getting confused with up and down, down and up, that kind of stuff. Do you get what I mean? This is just like tiny little things that I'm picking up on. This has 8 megapixel camera, front and back. It can shoot 1080p at up to 30 frames per second. So this is a sample video recording from the Pixel tablet itself, so you guys can see what this can do. We can either go 1.4, so it's closer, like so. It's okay for video calls, I think. Can go 1 times, so main camera. I mean, it's okay. I'm not going to be using this to film any piece of content anytime soon. Let me know what you think. This is running on the latest Tensor G2 processor, which is what we've got in the Pixel 7 lineup, for example. So you will get the same sort of processing power in here. You got 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is LPDDR5. So again, it performs very well. You can put apps side by side, for example. That's as much as you can do when it comes to multitasking on here. I think they should have taken notes from Samsung maybe and allow you to do a bit more multitasking on the tablet itself. The display is fine. It's not the sharpest, it's not the most vibrant of all, but it does the job. If you need to watch a movie, it does the job. If you need to read books, it does the job very well. So I think you get the point. It does the job, and that's all you need it to do. The display itself, to be accurate, is 2560 by 1600. So you can see there, it's a 16 by 10 aspect ratio. It has 4 speakers on there, 2 on each side, and we have no headphone jack, unfortunately. So you'd have to connect your Bluetooth headphone or plug in your USB-C dongle for audio on the side there. We have 7 hours on average I've been getting on this in terms of battery life, which is decent. I mean, most of the time you're going to use it as a tablet on the go or like in the house or whatever, and then just plug it back in and it charges anyway. It doesn't have 3G or 5G or whatever built in, it's Wi-Fi only. So it's not really, in that sense, make me think Google didn't actually make this for something that you take out and about for internet browsing and internet-based applications. This is more for home use, so you can connect it to your home system, your automated system, Google Assistant, all that kind of stuff, and still be able to do all the tablet-y things like gaming, reading books, watching movies, and so on at home. So it can entertain your kids with this when you need to do something else on a main TV, if you know what I mean. It comes with this fast charger, which is the brick that comes in the packaging, so you can just plug that into your docking station and off you go. Or you can charge the tablet directly using that USB-C port. So plenty of options there. And before I forget, in terms of storage, you can get up to 256 gigabytes of internal storage. Unfortunately, you can't expand that storage using a micro SD card or anything like that. Some pros and cons all around the device itself. So it's very responsive, the screen's sharp, you can run all your Android apps, even though some applications aren't fully optimized for tablet mode, that screen size, they're not fully optimized for that. You can watch videos on there, for example, load up YouTube, watch videos as much as you want, everything's nice and fluid. You can read books, things flow very smoothly. You can load up wallpapers once it's fully docked, for example, loading up websites, text, They look very sharp as well. Even just zooming in, you can see the text. They are very, very sharp and detailed. There's no problems there at all. The Tensor GPU processor, G2 processor works really well, although it does get quite warm at times, just like the Pixel 7 Pros. As when you start using it, I think we've just done a video on the new Pixel Fold. That gets warm as well when you start using, gaming and using it under intensive processing or graphics tasks. The stand is very genius. I really like it. It's a speaker as well. So even though you got the speakers on the tablet, that stand just adds a bit more oomph to it. So it sounds much better when you play music using the speaker on the stand. One issue I've got here though with the stand is you can't just grab it and lift off. It lifts up the whole thing, as you can see. So you have to hold down the stand and then take the tablet off it. I get the idea. It needs to be nice and secure. It can't slide off or anything like that. The magnet have to be really good. But the speaker could have been a bit weightier in the sense that you want to be able to just grab the tablet, take it off, and then dock it. Same way you can dock it one-handed. I say one-handed. You can't even dock it one-handed very well, but it would be nice to be able to do that. Just one-handed, pick it up, put it back on the stand, off and on and off as you wish to do so. But that aside though, good idea. I love the stand, the tablet, very responsive. Camera is okay. It's not the best cameras out there. It's 8 megapixel, does what you need it to do for video calls. Maybe take pictures and selfies with the kids as well if you need to do something like that. It does that well for you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. For the price point, I think it's around £400 or so. I'm not quite sure where it sits in terms of buying this versus your Nest Hub, which offers some hub things that this doesn't offer. But I love the idea of having a tablet that then turns into a docking station with a display, which means it has a secondary purpose and not just a tablet that you use every now and then and just dump it somewhere where you're not using it. But over to you. Let me know what you think of this. Would you buy one of these? Is this something that's for you or considering it? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.